Gonna do a sweep around here from the left side, the Richelieu side, just for kicks and giggles. I'll give a little bit of close-up to this, but I bet you a person could spend a long time researching and understanding all of this stuff. And why they're located, why they're even on this part of the building. I recognize some of the names. Rabelais is the second from the left, if it's the same one. I thought he was a painter. Looks like a cleric. Maybe he was that too. Colbert, I think I recognize that name. Looks like one of the Three Musketeers. Man, those guys wore a lot of clothing. There's Burton. Which one it was, I don't know. Rousseau. I'm trying to show how rigid this is in design, both of them. Although they do show the curve of the buttocks and even the knee, back of the knee, but the back and the head and the neck are all one straight slab. All of these reflect that same stylization, except here's a style difference in the faces. The nose is dominant and everything else is gone, or not. This is from the Minoan period. Notice the accent on the breast. The woman herself displaying those critical elements of nurture. This remnant of a statue of a woman is pretty because of the different textures and decorations on her garments. I don't know what this was meant to portray other than a gladiatorial animal fight. This is the winged victory of Samothrace. guidebook suggests that her stance is off balance. I don't know why, unless you assume it's because wings outstretched like that would offset her and pull her back, but the wings are probably, in theory, weightless. The guide talks about the rigidity of this. Certainly from the waist down it looks that way. I wonder what the purpose of the very, very elongated fingers was. Notice the military position of that arm. Core is described as a column, essentially. You can see that if you start the bottom work up, it has that look of a column. Almost looks like the torso and the garments were put on top and wrapped around the core column. The guidebook suggests that Kouros seems to have a gun in his back, and that would tend to make his pelvis stick forward and his shoulders back and his stomach and chest out. It doesn't look that way at all. To me, it looks like he's riding right on top of his hip vertically, just the way a human being's supposed to. So I don't understand that. Maybe someone else can point out to me why this is not good, but it looks like he's moving. One foot's forward, but it looks like he's a dancer. A model of the Greek temple of Zeus. The Greek section is closed, so we're left with the Roman section. I'll just photograph some of the characters in history whose names I recognize. Agrippa. This man is unknown, but what I wonder about is, are the features precise? In other words, were they that good that this really does look like what the man might have looked like? There's no way to answer that question. Just look at that, at the lips there. And then going up higher onto his forehead. Is that topography accurate, I wonder? I gotta get a picture of this to show to my barber so he can get the haircut correct. This is Marcellus. It'd be interesting to read Caesar's commentaries again and match these faces with the characters. This is Ptolemy, I think a historian. This is a posthumous Agrippa. This is Germanicus from 15 to 19 after Jesus Christ. Another bust of Germanicus that I can compare with the first. The Emperor Tiberius. Don't know if this is Tiberius or not. The Emperor Augustus had a gentle, almost, I wouldn't call it feminine, but a very unimposing face, but a pleasant face. This is a statue of the Emperor Augustus. More Augustus to compare. Like photographs, even if the sculptors thought that they were giving accurate representations, it may just be the difference in the view that they took. The Emperor Claude. It's interesting to realize the incredible power these people had. And here the Emperor Caligula. Is there a hint of that evil in him? Maybe in the face somehow? Or do we just presume it's there? Like the haircut. This is the Emperor Trajan, who ruled the height of the Roman Empire in 98 to 117 AD. Another view, and I noticed the mouth is very similar. So is the chin. I'll pan over so you can see. The Emperor Mark Antony, 161 to 180 AD. This is the Emperor Mark Aurelius. I think it's Marcus Aurelius, who is the son of Mark Antony. This is a full-blown statue of Marcus Aurelius. Here are several shots of Hadrian, several busts of Hadrian, each with a beard. This is the philosopher Herodotus. I wonder if our modern anthropologist, artist, sculptor type recreating guys could do anything to enlighten us from these statues. I think I remember the name of Emperor Lucius Verus. A lot of the statues in this room of Roman emperors are very much like some of our presidents. The names you may recognize, otherwise you don't know, and history really doesn't care about them much. This is Emperor Constantine I. Beautiful statue. Interesting how they've used that other marble for the cloak versus the white for him. It looks so much like a rug that you could feel like you could peel it off the wall and lay it on the floor. Interesting how this curving almost alludes to the Mobius curve. This frieze is one of 3 panels that reflects the recovery of Hector's body after he was killed by Achilles. This This is perhaps his wife and his family. View from inside of the pyramid. Certainly creates a beautiful. This may be a Da Vinci Code reference. Well, I'm back at the Louvre again. Knock off another hour or two, and then come up the stairs, and now veer to the left. I don't know where Venus used to be. But she ain't there now. She's in Venus de Milo and Sully Sal 74. But this, I think, is the octagonal room. Or the Rotonde de Mars, Rotunda of Mars. This is the octagonal room, apparently. Okay, down at that end, there used to be a building that connected the two ends and made a complete square. It's called the Tuileries. That burned down, and we're left with the U shape that you see now. Apparently, you can go on the internet under the site for the museum and find pictures of the contents of this salon, if you will. This is where the kings had their grand parties, and they certainly is a grand room. These are Botticelli's from 1400, and I think it was 85. But apparently these are supposed to reflect a prelude to the Roman Renaissance. Immediately to my right, not sure what this church is. It should be toward Notre Dame somewhere.